Morning grade 3s. Today we're going to do breakdown method. I'm going to start with addition and then after that we'll do subtraction of the breakdown method. We're going to do the same sum from yesterday. 4,720 plus 1,563. So I'm going to break it down into thousands, hundreds, tens, and units, and I start with the thousands. Okay, so I say 4,000 plus 1,000. Then I have 700 plus 500. Then I have 20 plus 60. And then I have 0 plus 3. So I'm going to do it from the bottom up because we always start from the units. But I do want you to go draw lines to say that I have units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Okay, this is very important. If you don't do this, you are going to get so confused. Oops. Okay, we're going to start at the bottom. 0 plus 3 is 3. I'm not going to write it there because that's the thousand spot. I just have 3. I need to write it under the unit. A 3 is a unit. Then I'm going to say 20 plus 60. Now 20 plus 60 is pretty easy. That is 80. But it's sometimes difficult because these numbers can get quite big. So what you can do is you can hide the 0. But you can't just hide it. You have to write it there so that you remember that there is a 0. Because this is not just 2 plus 3. It is actually 20 plus 60. But if I say, so you know 20 plus 60 is 80. But if I hide the zeros and I write it there, I can say 2 plus 6. 2 plus 6 is 8. Can you see that I'm writing that under the tens? The 8 is under the tens. It's important to remember that. And 20 plus 60 is 80. Am I right? Okay, let's put the zeros back. Now, 700 plus 500. And this is where it gets tricky. That's why I showed you the 0. If you hide the 0 here. There are 2 zeros and 2 zeros. So I write 2 zeros there to make it easy for myself. Then if I hide those zeros, I can easily say 7 plus 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. So I write 12. And it's important to write it in the correct spots because 700 plus 500 is actually 1,200. So it's important to remember that you write it in the correct spots. You always, if you hide zeros, always start from the back. Now we're going to say 4,000 plus 1,000. Once again, you can do the 3 zeros there, but we know that 4,000 plus 1,000 is 5,000. And then we're just going to put those numbers back together. Here we broke the numbers up. Now we need to put it together to get an answer. So a 0 and a 0 and a 0 and a 3 is a 3. 0, 0 and an 8 together makes an 8. A 0 and a 2 together gives us a 2. And a 5 and a 1 together gives us a 6. And that is your answer. Okay, now let's do the minus. I'm going to use exactly the same thing for the minus. 1,000. So 4,000 minus 1,000. 700 minus 500. 20 minus 60. And 0 minus 3. Now once again, it is very important to draw your lines. We have units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. And then I have my line over here to give me my answer. Once again, we're going to start from the bottom. We always start with the units first. So here I go. Can I say 0, take away 3. No, I can't, which means I'm going to have to borrow. Okay, so these 20, I'm going to take a 10 to put there, and there will be 10 left. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 is a unit. I write it under the unit. Now, once again, I can use the 0 trick. There's 1 0, 1 0, so I put 1 0. But can I say 10 minus 60? I only have 10. Can I take 60 away? No, I can't. So I go and borrow 100. There's going to be 600 left, and I put the 100 in front of that one. So it's 110 minus 60. This is where it gets so much easier if you hide the 0 and you put the 0 there already. Just make sure that there's 1 0 and 1 0, that you write 1 0. Okay. So now we have 11 minus 6, which is 5. And in actual fact, it's 110 minus 60 gives me 50. I have 600 minus 500, if that's confusing. There's 2 zeros, there's 2 zeros, so I'm going to put 2 zeros at the back, and I'm going to hide it. Do I need to borrow? No, because I can say 600 minus 500. 6 minus 5 is 1. 4,000 minus 1,000 is 3,000. And I get my answer by I took it apart. Now I have to put it back together. A 0 and a 0 and a 0 and a 7 is a 7. A 0 and a 0 and a 5 is a 5. A 0 and a 1 is a 1 and a 3. And that's how you get your answer.